All right, welcome back. Lots of important things going on around the world, and it is a terrific Tuesday. You're watching Liquid Lunch on Biz TV. Unfortunately, in the last segment, we're trying to get more to the core with our business audience, and most of the people in our audience own a business. They own the business. They work for a business. There's a lot to know in these crazy times. And yesterday, we were talking about a terrible topic. Child sex trafficking and pedophilia, which is disgusting. And unfortunately, another turd of a topic today, taxes. Everybody hates taxes, but we did that. We checked it off the list with Toby Mathis, and he's a great one, okay? And now, for many of you who are sitting back collecting your government check and saying, I'm on unemployment, and my rent is deferred for 2 months, so I don't have any bills, I can just drink tequila all day long, and I'm on the government dime. Big problems coming your way for millions of Americans, and their rent bill is coming due. And my favorite Gen Zer, Pavlina Osta, joins us right now. She's a producer for Salem Media, and I just have to tell you, if God had a podcast, she'd be the host of it, and she is. Hello, Pavlina. How are you? So what's happening? Evictions are coming our way. Government is talking about cutting off the extra unemployment stuff. This is going to be Gen Z Armageddon.
Yeah, it is just millennials and Gen Zs just don't get a break. They really don't get a break. But
poor Gen Zs.
I know. I feel bad. They're just starting their lives, for the most of them at least. They're starting their lives. They're recently out of college, or maybe they've been out of college for a few years, and they're like, they're getting the ball rolling with things, and they just can't get a break. So a lot of them, maybe some of them are receiving the unemployment and everything, and they're coasting, drinking tequila, doing whatever they're doing. But a lot of Americans, millions actually, are missing their rent payments. And 23 million have little to no confidence that they're going to make next month's rent payment. And it's just really scary. The White House is negotiating with Congress on another round of economic relief. So hopefully we'll see that soon. That should be like the last week of July. I think they're going to need it because the homeless rate is going to skyrocket. Eviction rates are going to skyrocket. So we definitely they're going to need some government assistance.
So Pav, let me, I love talking to you on some of this stuff because you're always receptive to like the basic fundamentals. You actually want to learn, which is unlike a lot of young people I encounter these days. And pardon me for chewing on my baklava.
I'm jealous you guys have baklava.
She brought me these
I want baklava.
beautiful Middle Eastern desserts. Right. And they're flaky, tasty, fresh, delicious. She said she's going to bring you some today. But what's got to happen is this, Pav. You got the crazy Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez out there saying suspend mortgage payments, right? You got the Gen Zers who are saying, wait a minute, we can't pay our rent. The way to fix it is, down in Washington, they have to do a deal for the banks, right? Because if you don't pay your rent and your mortgage, then the bank doesn't get paid, right? And you're paying rent to someone who takes your money and pays their mortgage. When the banks aren't getting paid the mortgages, then the banks go belly up. And that's called a run on the bank. If our banks start going belly up, and we have a huge problem on our hand, we have a run on the bank. People will be running for their money and it's not there. So the problem, they got us in a tricky one here, Pav, because AOC and all of them are railing against bailing out the banks and helping the big companies. But if you want to give people free rent and free mortgages, if you don't help the banks, then the banks are going to go belly up. Can you put that into a much smarter, much prettier Gen Z message and get it out there? That's the only way we can do this, is we have to bail out the banks then.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's literally how this whole thing works. So, you pay your landlord or whoever it is, and then they pay, everyone else, the banks and stuff. And it's one of those things where I think what's going to have to happen is we're going to need like more stimulus checks, because that is such a complicated process. I think, in my opinion, it's just like, wouldn't it be easier to, a lot of people aren't even receiving their unemployment, which I think is a big problem. Like, I think that's the biggest issue with a lot of this, is a lot of people are like slipping through the safety net of like, they should be receiving their unemployment and other things. and that's another reason they're not able to pay their rent. So if we are able to just get them, everyone that needs it, their unemployment, that would help people paying their rent, because it would just, the cycle, the cause and effect for all of this would just be really catastrophic. Wow.
No doubt about it. Tricky, crazy world we're living in right now. A little earlier, I let you get away with it, but you said, us Gen Zs, we can't get a break and everything else. I think everybody's on break right now. The last time I looked, I know you're a hard-working person, but I got friends of mine who were telling me that they're calling their workers, young kids, 27, 28, 32, they're calling them saying, hey, come on back to work. And they're like, nah, I'm good. I'm getting more staying at home. So, some of them are getting a big break.
Yes. Okay. So on the opposite side of this, there are people who are making more on unemployment, getting the $600 a week, and they would rather stay on the government's dime and do that than go back to work. So there's two sides of this that it's just like not really fair for, certain people. Like the people that should be going back to work should be going back to work. I know you're making more on unemployment, and that might be nice. Hopefully you've saved some of it. But go back to work, please. Like, we need to get things rolling again. And then there's the other side of it with people who can't go back to work, or maybe, their businesses, whoever they work for, are still closed, or maybe they're still working from home, or maybe they lost their job. Now they're trying to find another job, and then they can't pay their rent. So there's two sides that are just kind of like, okay, are you the, Gen Z that is saving all, or, getting all of this unemployment, and you're kind of like also going on a shopping spree because you're staying in mom's basement, or are you like struggling?
Yeah, there you go. Can I move in mom's basement? I live right next door. Maybe if I move in my mom's basement, I can get a check from the government and go on a shopping spree. That sounds like fun.
I know. Doesn't that sound like the dream right
Pav,
now?
listen, we got 1 minute left.
Okay.
Jess is shaking her head. Jess is saying, I'd like to sell the topic. Can you hang out with us for a few minutes and we'll do one more segment?
Absolutely, I would love to.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break right now. You're watching Liquid Lunch. We're ending segment hour 1. But do not, under any circumstance, move unless you're going to get a nice cold drink. That you can do. Report back to the TV screen as shortly as possible. Pavlina Osta and I will join you again right after this.